Good
What's up?
evening, John. How are you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, man? How's it going out there?
Man, Mondays. That's all I got to say about that. I am just I'm Mondayed out. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that part of the year where we have no more Mondays.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that happens.
I'm not
Oh
either, but
man.
we need to make that a thing. I was ready. I spent my weekend. We did volleyball tournaments. Savannah has just been just a fiend with all of the extracurricular activities at school, and so she's at school until like 7:30, 8 o'clock every single night.
Ooh,
Had to go to Austin for a volleyball tournament the past 2 weekends in a row. We did 3 trips to Austin in the past week, and we got now a trip to Waco coming up this week. So I got till like 9 o'clock this morning, and I woke up and I started getting some stuff done, working on a YouTube video. About 9 o'clock, I was like, never mind, never. I'm done. The rest of the day is my weekend.
yeah, I've been busy doing the Papa babysitting routine every other week. So this past week had granddaughter here, so I don't get much done. And then this week, no granddaughter. So today I was motivated. I got out there, replaced the last hub I needed to work on the trailer, got the starboard motor all put together, lower unit on, prop on, put some lube in it, ran her on the must. She runs like a champ. So I've got a few more things
Nice.
to do. Got the, of course, the port motor. And that video on the whole starboard motor thing will be coming out soon. That's something I've been lacking on. I should have spent more time working on the YouTube video, but they're coming soon. Probably maybe this week I'll be able to get them done because I'm getting so much stuff done on the boat already that I won't have to spend so much time working on the boat. But it was about noon when I was like, all right, I've done a lot of stuff. It's time to kick back and enjoy retirement for the rest of the day. So that's what I did. And then I'll be back at it again tomorrow morning. The new lower unit I got for the port motor uh, is black, and my motors are the Yamaha dark blue gray. So I'm like, I'm not. That's not going to look good. So I've got the paint to match the motors, and I'm going to sand that new lower unit down and put some paint on it so that it looks like it belongs on that motor.
So that was okay. So you ordered the lower unit and it came in that color, and so it's just kind of expected, like it's
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
match the color.
yeah.
The reason I asked that is because we did the lower unit on my dad's sea hunt a couple years ago, and we took it in to have them do it, and it came back with a primer coat. Like they never
Hmm.
painted it. It was
Huh,
it was a little weird.
that
Not
is weird.
Yeah,
Mm.
like I didn't even think about it until you were talking about painting it, and it just kind of reminded me of that whole thing. Like, I mean, we're gonna put it through its paces, and it's gonna get worn down and everything. But it's one thing if it had been black or even like a white, but the primer's
Hmm.
green, and obviously the motor is not. It's got that
Yeah,
blue gray kind of color to it.
yeah, yeah.
So
That
yeah,
sucks. Yeah, this one was just that's what it was. It was black. So I'm like, well, I can do with that. I got the code to get the paint, and paint's not that expensive, so I'm gonna. And I haven't repainted something like that. Sand it down a little bit, do all that. Got an etching primer and all that stuff. So it's something new I get to learn to do. So that's why I look at it.
yeah. So okay, so the paint for that then. I mean, it doesn't take much. I'd imagine probably a quart. I assume it's like an oil enamel.
Dude, it's spray can.
Really?
Yep, two 12-ounce spray cans is what I'm using.
Oh, well, shoot. Yeah, we could do that then. That could be done completely not sober.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm okay.
My only thing is it's probably gonna look because it's gonna be freshly painted and those motors are 20 something years old. So
Hmm.
it's not going to match exactly anyways because the motors are faded. So I don't know if it's going to lead me into wanting to paint more, but we'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think for some of the work that we do, like I'm doing some construction stuff right now, and one of the things that we look to do is tie the paint in on some of the work that we're doing. So that would be like we would find an area where you would pinstripe something, draw a
Oh
line.
my.
Yeah, I lost visual on you. I got your audio though.
You still hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. The mouse isn't even moving.
Hmm.
Like something keeps going in and out. New recording track created.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's a Riverside thing. That's a production deal on us over here. That shouldn't affect you.
I cannot do anything on my computer right now.
Oh man, I do like sometimes I do upwards of 6 or 8 live streams per week. And especially when I was like working with TubeBuddy, doing all that stuff with those guys, I was live stream all the time. And our mantra, I need to make a t-shirt about this. Hashtag live happens. Something
Yeah. Let's see if it gives me control back
keep
here.
keep working on what you're doing, man. I can hang out here. I got things covered while you're trying to get that going. The conversation for today, I'll just go ahead and lay it out. So actually, while you're doing that, let me get the video up here. And I will just show everybody what we're talking about since it is a video. And I need to figure out how to share videos via Riverside anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And let me see what I can do with that here. Give me just 1 second, guys, and I'll get this going. All right, so this is a video that was put out by a channel called Fleet Watcher, a little bit smaller channel, but they make there's a lot of references that they got to the business industry of boating and what's going on, and it paints a pretty dire picture of what is happening in the boating industry right now. Everybody basically bought a whole bunch of boats during the pandemic, COVID. People were really getting into it, or at least like just prior to COVID and everything. And now there's a little bit of a glut in the market, and these companies are laying people off, and there's companies that run the risk of getting shut down here. So let me know if you can hear this or not. I got it playing now.
Across 5 states, over 2,000 workers sent home, a 90-year-old boat brand sold off for scrap, and $730 million in losses across just 3 public companies. The American boat industry just posted its worst numbers since the 2008 money crisis, and the 7 brands we are about to cover are all running out of time. Some of these companies cut their workers in half. Others shut down plants for good that had been open for decades. One sold every mold, every tool, and every design it owned for $6 million. New powerboat sales dropped 9.1% in 2024 to just 231,576 units, and through July of 2025, they fell another 8.9%. Brunswick's CEO compared the current market to 2010, which was the lowest point after the last money crisis. When the largest boat company on the planet makes that comparison, it is not spin, it is a warning. Type by type, the pain looks even worse. Pontoons dropped 10.9% through June 2020.
So this is one of the things that they are talking about here that they kind of focus on, and Fleet Watch. So Fleet Watch. So I'm just going to go ahead and tag you in this video because you're going to get a notification that I'm using your content. Thank you for the reporting and what you are doing on here, because we appreciate the insight. So one of the things that they're looking at on this is that, I mean, there's difference per the market type that they're dealing with. So pontoon boats is the biggest one that's had the biggest issue here. And what is it? So I've got a summary of what they're talking about here. So pontoon boats, the segment of pontoon boats is down nearly 11% in sales. And the entire market is showing a decline 9% through July of 2025. These are all the statistics straight out of the video, quoting who is it here? Straight out of Fleet Watch. So stern drives are down 20%. Jet boats 15%. Now they don't have center consoles. I don't know where center consoles of fishing boats fall into that, but just the overall everything that's going on here just paints a picture of a big glut in the industry, and a lot of these companies are cutting people. They're letting people go. So you have Mercury Marine, who cut 2,000 workers. Their 2024 revenue fell 18%, had a net income graph 66%. They had a big time low in their stock market. White River Marine Group, which is Bass Pro, Tracker, Ranger, Nitro, they lost 500 workers in the year, permanently closed a couple of different factories. Alumacraft cut 300 workers, they're a little bit smaller outfit. Mastercraft revenue dropped. These numbers are just all across the board with a lot of different guys, and these are the ones that they focus on, with the exception of yachts. Kind of had a different performance in the segment here, but outside of yachts, we're seeing this all across the board. We're seeing this just all over the place. So the idea on this, now John had some takes on this. I'm kind of waiting for him to pop back in for his insight on this, because he had some interesting takes on everything going on, or a different thing. You know, there are some expectations that he would expect to see that we're not seeing, and I kind of agree with him. Well, we'll get into that just as soon as we can get him back on here.
25, stern drives fell 20.1%, wake sport boats slid 9.9%, and jet boats dropped 14.4%. Yachts were the only bright spot at 1.8% growth, because
yachts growing. That's different ball game with that.
To do it. With that as the backdrop, here are the 7 brands bleeding out right now.
And we got some ads. Sorry, Fleet Watch. We're going to be skipping on the ads here. So, this is going to have an impact on us, whether it be. Oh, I'm coming, John.
I'm back.
There he is.
That was crazy. I had to shut down and everything.
Yeah, that sucks.
Definitely. What I missed?
Okay, so just a brief overview. I kind of showed a part of that video, and basically, so what we're looking at is a little bit of a recap. There's a focus here on a couple of different brands specifically, because we have access to like some of their numbers, but this is a little bit more industry wide. You've got some of these brands. Mercury Marine, their revenue fell pretty big in last year. Their stock hit a 52-week low. Got about cut in half. They had to cut 2,000 workers. The White River Marine Group lost 500 workers. That's Bass Pro, Tracker, Ranger. Alumacraft had to cut 300 workers. Mastercraft revenue, net income crashed by 90% for Mastercraft. With the exception of yachts, like everything across the board is just taking a major hit. And part of that is because what they're saying is that everybody was seeing a glut of sales towards the end of the 2010s. COVID happened, and a lot more people were kind of hitting the water. They had a little bit of free time, quarantine and stuff like that. We saw that. You know, we spent a little bit more time out there fishing.
Hard to buy a used boat.
Yeah, and now
they're saying all this, but I'm still seeing high prices. Okay,
that's exactly, yeah. So what are these guys doing if they're having to let all these people go? And I just don't agree with the business model. I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, you've got this stock surplus, and I understand that there are costs, and you need to maintain whatever it is. But, man, you got to get out from underneath some of that inventory. And I'm not seeing those numbers like what you're saying.
Prices are not dropping. I know that. Every time I'm looking at boats, they're astronomical, used and new, right?
Across the board. You know how much it is for, like, a John boat? I saw a John boat, a center console John boat, $25,000.
Yeah.
For a John boat.
Yep.
Dude, I think we got our first John boat for like $700. That was not that long ago. I'm not even gray yet. Like, it has not been that long.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure where they're seeing the drop off, because I'm not, as the purchaser, somebody looking at stuff, I'm not seeing it. It looks like they're robust and still charging an arm and a leg for everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And part of the thing that I blame on this, so we've seen it in a ton of industries, for one, with the whole thing that happened with COVID. Some companies, companies that did not know how to control what they were doing were just laying people off. They had no clue what to do. Yeah. Other companies were buying people up because they were seeing, we saw it in the YouTube spectrum, like everybody who had anything YouTube was blowing up during COVID. Boating industry was following a similar thing because people were now, they were under quarantine, they were out of work, they had this free time to do these passion projects, that going fishing, getting boats, making these YouTube channels that they always wanted to dip their toes into. And that was never sustainable. Like, these people were never going to stick around with it. The majority of them weren't. I'm not seeing the secondhand boats for sale, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know. Okay, so one of the other things that I wanted to say about that, though, is one of the things that kind of gets under my skin with it a little bit, and I see the same thing with cars, is where they can't just release a damn boat. That boat has to have the most top end, high end stereo. It's got to have electronics that are just beyond, like they have to have AI on boats these days. And it gets them under, like, I want a nice one. I want one that can fit. I want a good, I want it to be wide. I want a good platform for everybody to be able to get around on. And I want my electronics, but I don't need anything super fancy. I just, give me a motor, give me a, I'm old enough to where I'd kind of like a T-top. I want something to get in the shade.
Yep, definitely. No, yeah, you're right. Back in the day, even with cars, you had a base model, and then you could move up from there and get those different options that you want. But anymore, like you said, they just throw everything in the dang boat and then say, hey, we just added, $100,000 worth of extra stuff that you might never even use, but here you go. Now you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to think of. I mean, I want to say we got a Jeep in the 90s, and Jeeps being a fairly baseline thing back then, like not what they were in the 70s. They were starting to add stuff. They had a dash. But I want to say that was like a $7,000 car, brand new, in the 90s. And my dad has told me stories about how he bought like a $3,000 car brand new back in the 80s, and he said he would never do that again. And he just bought what he's calling his last truck. He's about to retire this year, and he just bought his last truck, and it wasn't no $3,000,
No, of course not. Not nowadays.
And it's not because there's anything special under there. It's electronics. It's all like electronics on the engine. You have to have the sensors, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't want that, but I really don't want a lot of that. I just want the damn engine. If it starts to smoke, I'll know.
Dan's got a good point there. I'm not sure if it's material. I'm sure I have seen some boat builders I follow. Some do YouTube stuff too, and so yeah, I know materials were harder to get and prices were up. But that was like 2020, 2021, 2022, COVID, right? Yeah. Because nothing was being manufactured, nobody could go to work, blah blah blah. That's all. You can't use that excuse anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Right? That's for the last 3 years, we've been, pretty much out of that. We should, by now, 3 years later, everything should be pretty much available.
So I will say that, for one, people never discount their prices. Like, as soon as you take the price of something that's $1 and you decide to charge $2, regardless of whatever the reason is, that thing's never going back to $1. That person selling that thing will never go back on that price. Yeah. We were talking behind the scenes, so I'm doing some construction here and there just to make a little bit of cash right now while I'm looking for employment. And I'm seeing it with the construction materials that we're having to buy. I'm being real careful about putting together a cost analysis of everything that I'm working on. Every piece, I'm pricing out everything. And I mean, 2x4s, I think they're like $8 for a 2x4 that I used to buy for $3.
Yeah. All that stuff has gone up. Yeah, it did because of COVID, but COVID's gone. So
and it never came back down.
Talk about price fluctuation. I might get into this off pace here a little bit, but gas. Okay, 20 years ago, if the prices were stable, if the price jumped 10 cents, oh my God, it was the biggest story in the news. What's going on?
It was the summertime crisis.
Tell us why. Now, our price changed 30 cents in one day. Not a peep from the media. Nobody's like, why is gas going up all of a sudden? And then the next day it might drop 20 cents. And then the next day it might go back up another 10 cents. It's like, why can't it just be stabilized? There's something to do with the, somebody's making some extra money on it. That's
Oh, they're
all.
definitely making money. You watch that show Landman?
Oh, I have not.
It's not for everybody. It is my absolute guilty pleasure. I am addicted to that show. It's a lot of the stuff that they do is a lot of what I used to do in the oil field. I did production, so all of the wellheads and stuff that they're working on. Anytime something explodes, it's a wellhead. When you've got the pump derricks, it goes into a wellhead. So all of the stuff that they're doing is all the stuff that I used to do, and then on top of that, like the Billy Bob Thornton's wife, like very much reminds me of my wife. So I like watching that show and, being reminded of how Rachel was when I was in the oil field and all that in a funny way. But, oh, yeah, I got off track. Sorry.
Price
You set me off in that
talking
direction.
about gas prices, but
Yeah, gas prices. They cover that in that show, like what all the stuff that kind of happens that causes, and they actually do a pretty good, they do a pretty good diatribe about gas prices. It's all based on like oil prices, and oil prices are based on what OPEC is doing on top of like what our own production is, and there's different variables involved with it, but you want to keep gas
so
prices.
widely. I don't remember, 20, 30 years ago, gas prices changing like they do now.
Yeah, no.
Crazy.
And I am blessed to say I remember a day when I bought gas for, I think it was like 90 cents a gallon. It was under $1. Like I remember that, and yeah, probably. I guess we're never gonna get that back.
Mark J, how you doing? Good to see you here. Gunpoint
What's up, man?
Mama's in the house. Got Ben, of course, is here. Wild Japan is here.
I don't know what's going on. So FYI, guys, here, there's some kind of issue on my end. We're seeing some technical difficulties. Had an issue with John a moment ago. I am not showing, like this stream is not showing up for me. And I am not seeing anything in the chat other than Ben saying hi.
There's on this, for me, looking at the Riverside screen, I see no chat. But I've got that pulled up on YouTube on the channel, and that's where I'm seeing everybody chatting over there.
Yeah, see, it's not working for me on the YouTube thing either. So I don't know, Riverside being weird.
Yeah.
My apologies. I'm not trying to ignore anyone. I'm literally like, it's still showing me that I'm seeing that we're live right here. Like I've got all the information. Riverside shows them live, but on like when I go to see it on YouTube, it says that we're waiting. So
Oh, shoot.
I don't know
That's
what to do on that.
weird. That is weird.
Yeah, I've not seen that, so I'm kind of caught off guard. I didn't know how to fix that.
Yeah, so the system's not communicating too well for us. I can see who's over there now. Cheapest gas, I was probably around 180 in high school. Shoot, I remember gas under $1 a gallon easy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one time paying like $1.50, and I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, I know prices change, but I'm not going. I don't like this $1.50 stuff. I'll put in, like $2 of gas, and I'm gonna wait for the gas to come back down to 1.25. I'll accept $1.25 as my nominal level. Like it was $1, now I'll accept $1.25 as my nominal level.
So, Wild Japan says they can say anything they want in the chat about Stanley. He won't know.
All right. Looks like I got it on that end now. Why am I not seeing it?
Ben says he's on the Outdoor Live Crew channel and seeing chat. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I got the Outdoor Live one up.
Yeah, I don't have it streaming on mine. I had some other issues some other technical issues today. There's been a few of them. So that is so I didn't stream it to my channel just because
We
I
need
didn't
a
have the
tech
ability
person
to
to tech us out so we're not so technically challenged on this technical stuff.
That's why you come here to watch this, guys. You don't come here to watch like a bunch of tech geeks do tech stuff with fancy lights.
Right? We're just
You
barely
come to get
getting
some
by.
laughs out of trying to see a couple of guys try to fumble with cameras on their computer.
Stumbling, bumbling.
Yeah,
Stanley?
Gunpoint. I saw that you submitted that. I specifically, whenever somebody submits a record like that, so I was not able to get to a lot of that stuff today. So I completely ignore it, and I do that on purpose so that I have that notification. Notifications drive me up a wall on Discord, emails, you name it. So I'm ghosting you specifically because I'll have that notification on there that tells me I need to do something about this. That's why I haven't said anything. I totally saw it. I just haven't had a chance to do anything about it. But I will have that updated for you ASAP.
Cool, Yellow Bass record, nice.
Oh well, I mean it's Gunpoint. You know, he for one, he knows what he's doing. He knows when he catches a fish. He knows what he's got, and he gets a good photo of it and everything else. So he knows how to play the game. For anybody who does not know how to play the game, the way that it works is you go into the Discord server. Every time you catch a fish, you take yourself a pretty picture of that fish and you post it in that Discord server. We'll be taking a look at those here in just a few minutes. And what you do is if you catch something that you put a tape against, you can submit it for a record. There's a channel that you can do that in the Discord server. And the people who own the records, as well as the people who get the best, yeah, I see that, John. As well as the people who get the best photos every single week will get added to the 2026 Wall of Fame. So we'll show you guys all that in a few minutes here.
Yeah, we got some photos to look at today. So
Yeah, we got 2
anybody in
weeks
the
to little
chat,
catching up
has
to do.
anybody in the chat been in the market for a boat for the last year or two? Just interested to see what they're seeing as far as how.
Yeah, I'd be curious
Market
about that
there.
too. Has anybody else seen that? So I always look at boats. I love looking for them,
too.
and I mean,
Me too.
yeah, it's they call it boat porn for a reason.
Right?
Like,
Exactly.
there's whenever I go to Corpus, there's two of them. When we go to Padre Island, there's one at the intersection of NPID and SPID when you're transitioning over on there, and on the left, I forget the name of that little place, but he's always got boats for sale. I'm always rubbernecking that guy's lot. And then in Flower Bluff on the right side, there's the guy right before the Texas A&M building thing on the right, before that turnoff over to the Naval Air Station, and he's always got some cool boats in his lot. I love looking at those. But man, like again, I remember boats being like $3,000, $5,000 for a boat, and now everything that I'm looking at is like I'm not going to find a boat that I like under 70 grand. And
That's what it's like. Yeah, that's what it's like. That is what it's like. When I sold my boat, I got more than I pre-COVID. I wouldn't got as much as I got for my boat. But then when I went to buy this boat, I knew I would be paying more than I would have, 5 years earlier for the same boat. So, just it is what it is. And I thought maybe if I waited a few years, I might have got a better deal. But looking at it now, no, I wouldn't have.
not seeing it. There's a boat yeah, in pretty good shape. If you're on Nick Meyer's thing on Facebook, you've probably seen it. There's a boat that's beached down at the end of the National Seashore. And I think we talked about it on the last live stream, but the motor has been destroyed, but the hull is good. It's still sitting there. Like it sat through several storms that took it up into the dunes, and it was just planted there because it held itself against the inshore surf. And I've been told by multiple people I need to get my ass down there with a trailer and get that thing out of there because I mean that's with a motor that's going to be a $30,000 boat.
Right, easy.
Gunpoint. I've been in a mental space for a boat, but my wallet disagrees. Yeah, man, you're smart. Your wallet's smarter than you are. My wallet's in the same boat on that.
Yeah, but you can't take the
Unintended.
money with you, all right? That's that
I got a
whole
running,
travel.
driving Honda Civic for $300 pre-COVID.
You
Yeah,
probably turn around and sell it for 3,000 now.
yeah, yeah. I'm wondering what my Silverado could go for if I could just get that thing just running in running shape.
Right.
What could I get for that Silverado?
Right.
Piracy that's not piracy like taking that boat. That's what is that? That's that adventure that all of us want to do when we're 20, where you go and salvage a boat.
Their only problem is titles. 'Cause anytime you go to buy a boat, they say, hey, don't buy one without a title because it's impossible you gotta find the previous owner and blah, 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 blah. So a boat like that, that'd be tough, I guess.
Yeah, I was told, and I was also told that they don't know what they're talking about. Take it with a grain of salt. But I was told to sand the numbers off and tell them it's a built boat, that I built it myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. I've never messed
I
with
know
anything
that's
like that.
work. I've seen people do that with trailers.
Yeah,
I
that's
never
exactly
seen
what
it
they
with a
said.
boat.
Same thing. They've seen people do it with trailers.
I find a Corvette, I steal it, I grind the numbers off, and then say it's a built Corvette. I built
No,
it.
you tell them it's like a built Silverado,
Okay, yeah.
and you don't paint it red.
Mm-mm.
It'd be funnier if it wore a pirate costume. Hey, I smell what you're stepping in. I like where your head is at.
That'd be a good video at least. Yeah, that could be a good project type video where just the process of getting it home and then finding out what you have to do to actually make it legal and then digging into it and finding the things that you didn't know were wrong with it that you got to fix. That could
You
be
know,
a whole
you're
series.
so right about that. It's one of those things where, like, I hate doing this, but it is so right. I get it and I understand it, and I just want to avoid it. But the reality is that is such a headache, and that headache is, and that drama is what people are going to want to see.
Yep, exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't want that drama. I don't want to do that. But you're
I
not
don't
wrong.
blame you.
I'm going to fail. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to fail at it. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know anything about that.
Oh man. Hey, just dive in. Learn from your mistakes. That's kind of what I do.
Oh, but I
Step
make
up.
so many, and I've done that so many times. I've done it enough times to know how much that sucks.
I got to the point where I do it myself to save money. And yes,
Yeah.
over the years, there's been times where I messed it up more and had to spend the money. But I would say far more often I figure it out and get it right without spending the money that, if I paid someone else to do it. That's why
You
I
know-
always try to do stuff myself first.
So I do too, and I'm not half bad at that. But I have found that I have my niche areas that I'm good at. Electricity is not one.
Yeah.
Electricity is something that I just despise. I almost entirely write off anything electrical. And I got two semesters. I'm a semester away from a degree in industrial I&E, electronics and whatever the other I stands for. Straight A's. I was top of my class. Like, I'm not bad at it, but I've taken enough of those classes to know just how much I suck and am miserable at that. So but
I don't
you put me in
like-
construction, if you run your car into your house, that doesn't bother me. I can fix that house. I've got no concerns for that.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't have a lot of construction experience, so I hate effing with drywall and anything like that. But I can wiggle my way around some electrical, like like the boat, wiring the boat. I didn't have anybody help me with that. I did mostly anything that had to be wired. I did myself. Did some AC work, dealing with electrical stuff. So
Mhm.
and didn't fry the system or kill myself. So, just-
I can do some minor stuff.
yeah.
Electrical outlets, lights in the house,
Yeah.
and appliances.
That's
I can do that. But I don't. People start talking about AC, DC. We had that meter thing in the classes that I was taking. That you had to know how to check all the things, and I understand that some of the basic concepts of a capacitor and some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I still, I was, I was charging the battery to my camera the other day, and I had this is the battery charger. I had it stuck into the wall. You probably can't see it here, but it was stuck into the wall, and I had the battery charging, and we had a fly swatter leaning up against it, and I've got metal outlet covers in the kitchen because I thought they looked pretty, and it's just this congruence of dipshittery. This thing's sitting here on that metal panel with that fly swatter, and I go to wiggle this to get the battery out, and that fly swatter goes like this, and just the whole kitchen, pew! It sparked it. You can't see it on here, but oh yeah, you can
yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
They got a notch in it. So Like I said, I've got historic levels of dipshittery when it comes to electronics. I just don't. I'm not the
Yeah.
guy that I hire myself to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'll give it a go. A lot of research, you know. Now the great thing today, man, these young folks don't know how it was 40 years ago when I was a 20-year-old. We didn't have internet. We didn't have all these things online that you could look at and see. We
That's
had,
different.
you know, Chilton's manuals for vehicles, and we
Children's,
had our old
absolutely.
man and maybe an uncle, and that's all we had for reference to do anything.
That was different
Nowadays, you can
though.
build a house and build your own car from the internet.
the the problem with that, so I totally agree, and that was me in my 20s. I had to figure it out on my first car because I absolutely could not afford to fix anything, and that car was a nightmare. It was a sold Suburban, a 93 Suburban, and nightmare under the hood. That thing had everything freaking wrong with it, and I learned a lot from it, and I'm appreciative of what I learned. But there wasn't a whole lot to it. Like I could fit under the hood of that. I'm 6'2", like I'm a big dude. I could fit underneath the hood of that car. I could get my hands around the components. I could beat on that alternator with a hammer. I can take pieces out. I can hurt things, and it's not going to hurt anything. But nowadays, you've got a computer
Yeah.
that you're going to. I'm going to do this to the damn computer when I mess with, when I'm beating on the alternator with a
And it's
hammer.
going to cost thousands of dollars. Thousands of
It,
dollars.
I had an issue with the stupid key fob on the new Dodge, and I love hitting the button to unlock the doors. Like that's one of the coolest features to me. But that key fob has gone down twice, and the last time it went down, I'm out at the beach. I can't get into my car. I can't start the car. It locks me out like it's locking its own self. That cost me $1,000, and that wasn't something that I could fix. I had to replace the computer.
No.
Like that is bullshit. That pisses me off.
So it wasn't the key fob's fault. It was the truck's fault.
Yeah, well, it was what it was. The key fob was messing up, but in the steering column, they've got it's the PCU or something. It's a computer unit that reads the key. So apparently that thing crapped out because of the key or vice versa. I don't know, but they can't just print a new key, a new $300 key, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
They had to replace the PCU or whatever that unit was called, and then that was 700 plus 300 for the key that doesn't come along with it.
Ridiculous. I remember when taking auto tech, electricity wasn't my forte. Yeah, electrical, for me, electrical was the hardest. But back in the day, though, cars were so easy. Air, fuel,
Yep.
and spark.
Ignition. Yep.
Yeah, those are the three things you need. Air, fuel, and spark. Everything else was Mach 6. Now, a simple sensor on the widget got it goes
Yeah.
bad, and the whole vehicle won't do anything. It's like, what's
Oh,
that?
on my Silverado, about 15 years ago, I don't even remember what that thing's called. There's a regulator valve in the radiator that, like as the water heats up, it opens up so that more water flows through and it cools down
Thermostat?
as it cools down. The thermostat, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. So I had an issue with it like 15, 20 years ago. I had an issue with that with the thermostat. So I pulled it out and I beat a hole in it with a hammer and I put it back.
It'll work.
Yeah, for 20 years. On on the Mustang that we had for like a year here, needed just a second vehicle for Rachel to get to work, and the radio crapped out, and that affected the safety systems to where she couldn't unlock the doors and start the car because the radio went out. Like somebody had tried to steal it. They didn't, but
Right.
that's what it thought.
That's crazy.
That's BS.
That's crazy.
All
Let's see,
right.
what else? Copies of my Suzuki key at the local locksmith and stamp maker. Yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
yeah, that's what it used to be. But now, yeah, you got to have them, and then you got to have. If you go to the dealer, it costs you an arm and a leg to get them to program the new key.
Yep.
And I went to the
Stereo too.
fly by night type folks to do it before, but those anytime I had it done by someone other than the dealer, it'd last for like a year, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't work no more. So, knock on wood, my the Ram right now, everything's working fine, and I don't want any of this discussion today to jinx that, because I know if anything goes wrong with that thing, it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, I agree. It's a grand to fix anything these days. Okay, and you're right. We're getting off onto a topic here that's we're verging on getting into some territory where we get some bad luck, some bad juju.
It's almost picture time too. Photograph.
It is actually. Let's take a look at some pictures. Let's try to get some good mojo going on up in here. Get into
Good
some
mojo.
something that I'm not, like little less animated about. So these are anytime we talk about cars, have that light ready because
Yeah.
I will go off.
All right, let's see it.
All right. So these are our photographs of the week. This is brought to you by the Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. If you are not a member, you need to join us on that. We have a whole lot of fun and we enjoy living vicariously through your fishing and hunting experiences when we're not able to get out there and do that. So thank you to everybody who is joining us in there. There is a link in the description down below. If you have not joined us, you need to come and do that. Have some fun with us. And kicking things off this week are the guys who got outdoors and got themselves some fresh air. Mr. Ben Kovrubis, who's with us in the
Nice.
chat there.
Where's that at, Ben?
That looks like that's in his home area. That looks
Yeah.
like one of them bayous. I know
Maybe
he's
it does.
driving. I don't know if he can respond or not, but
Yeah, we'll see. We will
that
find
looks
out.
like, looks like that's out of We Go Fishing's area.
Nice. Very nice. Jealous.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm drying up. Today was my fishing day. I wasn't able to make that happen.
And the opposite end of that spectrum.
Yeah, right. On the
I-
other side of the world.
Shouldn't
Gib Noob getting out there into this, which I bet looks like a lush. I don't know what that biosphere in Alaska is, but that lush, wonderful lakeside looking stuff in June, July. I bet it looks gorgeous.
He sure doesn't make a big hole to fish in.
Yeah, he sure does. He catches big fish. He was our photographer of the week 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So he that hole is deserving.
Was he the one with that big pike? Was that the fish we
I don't
took?
remember. I think it was a pike. I don't remember what he got. We'll be seeing it here in a minute.
Yeah,
We'll get to revisit
exactly.
it.
We'll know.
He's spending a lot of time on the ice. In fact, here we get some
Covington,
more pictures of-
Louisiana. Ben says that was Covington, Louisiana.
What are you doing in Louisiana?
Well, right.
Getting away from everybody to do some fishing?
Yeah, exactly. Now those look like normal size ice fishing holes down there.
I like how those pads are wood grain. Fancy. It just looks fancy.
We got wood flooring in our ice shanty.
Dude, look at I didn't even notice this. He's got the computer going
Yep.
and he's watching Letterkenny while he's fishing. That is hilarious. Have you ever seen Letterkenny?
No.
It's they're YouTubers I think they're based out of Canada, and they're Canadian YouTubers. They got a TV show. The TV show is funny, but their YouTube stuff from 15 years ago is hilarious. They just talk shit about stuff. It's funny, but it's Canadians doing it. So, and then of course we got Wild Japan, who's getting out there, enjoying some time with the hockey team, and getting outside and get some photographs. Also, Dylan, dude, your daughter is getting big.
Yeah, she's growing up.
Like, I think I can remember, it wasn't even that long ago, when you could probably just like grab her by the vest and pick her up, and now you look like you look like it's kind of hurting your back now. Shoresy is a spinoff. I'm not familiar with Shoresy, but they're in Ontario. Okay, well, that's Canada. Yeah, okay, so Gunpoint saying that the big holes like that are for spear and pike, might be for sight fishing trout. That water was
Dude,
crystal
spear
clear.
pike through, but usually it's like a big slot almost. But yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Ben said he didn't get any bites, was over there for an event and got a couple of hours away while he was over there.
Worth the time to take. Yeah, I bet it was.
She's the biggest kid in her class, man. Enjoy it, and especially right now because he's on his last couple of months there in Japan.
Is that a chunk of ice or what?
Yeah,
Dang,
yeah. Look at that.
smokes.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like I haven't.
Yeah.
We've never had ice like that here.
No, not that thick. Nope. It would be literally hell freezing over to get ice like that here.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, that would be apocalyptic. We wouldn't know how to drive. There'd be so many accidents.
No, half the Texas population would probably die.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, just they'd just give up and just
Shrivel up in their house and
She, Dylan says she still wants me to carry her when they go ice skating, and after an hour of that before the game, got a little sick of carrying her. Oh, dude, I feel you on that.
yep.
Still, like, enjoy every moment because there's going to be one probably in the very near future where it's like, I just can't do it, and then it will have been the last time ever.
I've been complaining at my granddaughter that she's getting heavier and heavier to carry. And she had her doctor's appointment today, and my wife said she weighed, what was it, 29 and a half pounds. I'm like, dang, she seems like she's heavier than that. I'm just getting old. Holy smokes. That's all one person? Coldwater Species?
This is all mostly Big Hit Savage because he went on, like, he just is unrelenting.
Wow.
Coldwater Species Enthusiast is in the bottom right corner. The rest of this is all Big Hit.
Bunch of nice bass, though.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
3-pounder on the new rod.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What is the record for largemouth bass on the server?
Good question.
Hey, you
I'll
go
get
by
your answer
measurement,
right
not
now. Let me
weight,
see.
right?
What's that?
You go by measurement though, not weight.
We can do either.
Oh, okay.
As of right now, the best of 26, we do not have a record for largemouth bass.
Oh my goodness. Hey everybody who's in the server over there, if you catch a largemouth bass, take a picture of it beside a tape measure and put it in, and you could have a record until someone else beats it. That's amazing. That's the most popular freshwater fish to fish for, and nobody has submitted a record for it. That's great.
And you're going to see, so watch this over the course of the rest of this presentation. You are going to see this 3 times over with what Big Hit does because he has just been tearing it up. Every one of those would have been a record, and he didn't submit one of them. And that's everybody in the server. You need to slip in and just slip one in with a pretty picture because, you know, you're going to be on the Wall of Fame for a bit there. So get a pretty picture when you're taking it and make sure you send in a picture of that tape measure. And yeah, right now you're pretty much guaranteed to get on there.
There you go.
Gunpoint saying, or he remembers reading comments on a big Texas pileup saying, we don't know how to drive in that with the cold weather. And Gunpoint says, well, I'm like, why are you guys still going 70 miles an hour with ice on the ground? And it's because the speed limit is 85. So they slowed down to 70.
That's true. All right. Did you just see a comment pop up in the Riverside
I did.
chat? But
I
it
did.
didn't
Duck
pop
Petrie,
up.
what's up, man?
It didn't pop up in the YouTube chat.
I see that.
This thing is.
I have no explanation for that.
Yeah, me either. Just
I
thought
picked up my 26-year-old son, and he said, Dad, what the hell? I said, heard one day you pick up your child for the last time and just resetting that clock. Yeah, you got the right idea. You're doing it right.
Good job.
Your dad, you're allowed to do that.
Yep.
Boy, oh, I'm gonna have to do a video. We'll be discussing dating, I think, at some point this season. Hadn't been looking forward to that conversation.
I've been through all that already.
Yeah.
Big Hit Savage. Look, kitty cats and bass. Oh wait, there's a walleye in there too. Oh, that's Gunpoint Llama. The walleye.
Yeah. And
Look
if
at all
I'm not
this.
mistaken, I believe that is currently our server record for a walleye.
Walleye? Ah, okay. Hey, now that's a
And
challenge
yeah,
for me
that's a
this
server
summer.
record, which is 22 inches.
All right, that's a challenge for me this summer. When I'm
Yep,
up in
saying I
Michigan.
was going to say the same thing. I'm gunning for that 22.
Yep. Look at all them bass that could have been a record.
Exactly. Every single one of them.
Yep.
Lizard guy getting out there and doing his best impersonation of Big Hit by just tearing up every single thing he finds
Good
in.
Lord.
Yeah, I don't recognize a single one of those.
I'm trying to. I don't think I do either.
You know what's funny is how similar they are to everything we got, but they're not. Like
Yeah.
that looks kind of like a bluefish. This guy looks a little bit like a speckled trout.
Yeah. A
Kind
couple
of
of
looks
them.
like a bluefish.
Yeah. Bottom right, maybe a sand trout or speckled
Yeah,
trout.
exactly. Yeah, but you just
They're
know
not.
they're not. They're a little
Yeah.
off.
Yep.
While Japan saying I was around 23 when my dad threw me at judo the last time, so I think that counts as the last time I got picked up. My thing was basketball. I didn't get picked up because we were pretty big. Like I said, I'm like 6'2", but I remember we were playing basketball when I was like 12, and I put my dad on his ass. I don't remember what was going on, but he went knee first to the ground.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, and he tore something in his knee, and he ended up having to have surgery for it like a year later. Never fully recovered from it, and that was it. He never loved me again after that.
That's when you got replaced by the dog.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, when he could.
That's when he got a dog.
Look at all them potential record bass.
Look at all of them, man. He's just been tearing it up, and he does have a weight. I just realized that he didn't submit that, or I haven't seen it in the submissions for that catfish.
Yeah, and you gotta know what kind of catfish. Nice little perch down there, a little baby one, but
Pretty picture.
yeah. And a nice little buck down there as well.
Just calling, getting ready for next year.
Nice.
Look at that. This is so weird. Duck Nitri's messages are popping up on the stream now, not on Riverside.
Yeah.
Did you change anything? You didn't, did you? You look like you're showing up on.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, this Riverside's messing up. That's all it is. It's not
Sorry,
we're
guys.
technical geniuses. It's the system.
Yeah, that's. We're going to have a little chat with Riverside about this when we're done.
Yeah. Dang it. Better
Get our
fix
money
this-
back. This
fix
free
this
software.
free thing for us. Dang, that's a nice perch there. Oh boy. that's a nice-
HT1. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So first off, that's cold water. Yeah, cold water
Mhm.
with a nice perch. And HT1 with a nice variety.
Yeah, I like the trout.
Yeah.
Pretty rainbow, little pike. White bass.
That
it
bass,
looks like.
if he'd have put a tape on that bass,
Yeah. Yeah. That could have been the record.
could have been.
That's hilarious.
Should have put a tape on that perch.
Yeah, definitely. Definitively. Oh, is that the yellow bass he's talking about?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it is. I believe it
I
is.
caught one of those. Here in
I
Texas.
don't know if I've ever got one of those.
Yeah, I've got one.
We get those stripers. I got a white bass once when I was like 10.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
Really close to a white bass. Looks like some good cold water fish in there.
Yeah, he's been out there. He had hit it kind of hard for his birthday and didn't. He wasn't too successful. Got a couple of little guys, didn't get skunked. But I mean, he kept after it. Also, your photography, dude, is getting really good.
Yeah, that one's a good photo with the with that yellow bass.
Yeah.
Perch too. That's a good photo with that perch up there.
And he says he's got GoPro footage. I'm hoping to see if we get a YouTube video out of this one. He does the Iowa Fisherman YouTube channel.
Very cool.
He says, oh, dang it, I can't. 1 second. I can't read it because of the little symbol in the chat, so I got to put a chat on there. Caught 2 master angler yellows back to back. So I guess those are his 2 master angler yellow bass.
Okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
I have to resubmit mine. I had all my master angler. They don't call it that here. They call it something else.
Yeah, Big Fish Awards.
Yeah, okay, big fish. So I got all of mine I submitted during COVID, and I guess they weren't at the office that day. I got to redo it.
All right, so we got a nice bass there. Another one big hit. And then we got trout. What is that?
Dude, is it just me, or does that look like something you find in the Amazon?
Yeah, right? I mean, down below it looks like regular old trout, but that one.
That's an aquarium fish.
the
Like that thing was bred in a laboratory.
The face almost looks trout, mouth, but yeah, I don't know. That's odd looking. Who is that? Flip? Flip isn't in the comments, are you, Flip?
No, we don't got Flip in there.
Dang it, Flip.
I'm betting that's one of those. What are they? Like a snakehead?
I don't
There's the other
know.
one, the snakehead, and the other one. I never remember which is which.
I don't know. Grunnel. Yeah, the one up in Michigan that's similar to a snakehead is a grunnel.
A grunnel.
Yeah. But that's not the one I caught. You're weird looking. Nobody in the
Makes
chat.
me very curious to see what that
Yeah.
tastes like.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what it is.
Yeah. We'll have to ask around on that.
Yeah.
And this is our current 2026 Wall of Fame. We are, of course, going to be adding a yellow bass to the mix over here at some point for our records.
Yeah.
And if anybody would put a tape to a bass, you would automatically be put on here for right now.
And it'd
So,
be smaller
that's
than
what he had. He had that trout.
trout. Okay. And that one, that MF Chom or whatever,
Yep.
you could have a bass a quarter the size of that, and it would be the record because he didn't put a tape to that.
That's right. That's right.
That's hilarious.
So our
Very good.
options this week, we need to get somebody added to this board, and our options this week are going to be Gunpoint Llama with his Master Angler Yellow Bass, Big Hit Savage with a Big Time Florida Winter Bass, or Cold Water Species Enthusiast with a Thick Stud Largemouth.
I voted quick
Cast
on that
your
one.
vote now in the chat and let us know who needs to be added to the 2026 Wall of Fame.
I voted quick because I like Gunpoint's photo. Like you said earlier, he's doing a good job getting himself in there. And that is going to be a record fish on the wall. So he could potentially have that picture on the wall twice. What? Unheard of.
Unheard of.
I went A. B is a close runner-up, but that's not even a record bass.
Yeah, and you know what's unfortunate about that? Like Big Hit, dude, we don't see you on here enough. I know, dude, he's tearing it up. Every week this dude is putting in like 30 pictures. He's out there like every day. He's loving life, and we're all jealous of what you're doing, man. But the problem is that we also all know you've got a legacy waiting for you. We know that you're going to have an 8 or a 10 pounder coming up, and everybody's just kind of waiting. Like, when are you going to get that? Because we know you're going to get that thing on the Wall of Fame. Nobody is going to at the end of the year, it is going to be difficult for anybody to beat his record, whatever his record is.
Yeah. And see, my only thing we see is don't cut off the angler's head.
Yeah, there's some circumstances where they have to do that. This is kind of one of those circumstances. It's unfortunate. There are some things you
Are you
can
doing
do about
something
that,
criminal
like
or
get
something?
creative with it. But also, you get the sun in the foreground. You know,
It's
get
a
a
good
little bit. You can
picture.
get some different lighting on him.
It's just we've been harping on, hey, get the angler in the picture with the fish.
Yeah.
Cutting off the head.
Sometimes
was
it's a
something illegal?
no, nothing illegal. Just in some circumstances they have to do that.
I understand.
Illegal, no.
I understand. Well, right now A is crushing it.
Yep.
Gunpoint, you're killing it. Oh, it's a
We will
bourbon.
give it about another 30 seconds here. Cast your vote now. If you have not, I'm tallying up all the votes as we speak.
Gunpoint says that fish was a burbot, and that I have heard of bourbons. I've seen
A
bourbon.
burbot. Okay.
The way it was laying looked weird.
I've heard of that. I couldn't identify a burbot to save my life. Still an aquarium fish, in my opinion. Nah, I bet it still tastes good.
Get the votes in. It's almost a
All right, we got the votes in, and congratulations, Gunpoint Llama. You earned yourself a spot heartily on the 2026 Wall of Fame. Great catch, man. Congratulations. That's you get a huge pat on the back for all of the work that you've been doing, getting out there on the ice this entire winter. This is your season. It's your time to shine, and you're doing it. Special thanks to our waitlisters. That is Lizard Guy, Wild Japan, HT1 Fisher, I Am Sammy, and Herring My Jig Out. And of course, our most sincere gratitude to the server boosters. That is Allison Winter, Otter Pup, and Dark Soldier. Guys, we appreciate you. And thank you so much for taking care of us on that. John, you got any closing words for us before we shut this guy down?
I'm just looking forward to what we get next week.
Same here. Things are starting to warm up. It is time for Sheep's Head to start turning things on, and it's time for me to phone in, work something for a day, and go play hooky and go take advantage of some of this beautiful winter sunshine.
Yes, definitely.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate having you here. Come and join us again when we do it all over next Monday night, 6 p.m. For everybody who's watching us after the fact and was not here for us live, we appreciate you coming checking us out. Please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, leave us a like, and do all of the YouTube things. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Good night, guys.
Peace out.